today, as part of daily workout, basically daily designing, I've picked up the material pasta shells. And the objective was to upcycle the pasta shells, and for that I used ideation technique, brain dump technique, which I have ideated for 3 months. Out of that, these were the ideas that I've got, and I have removed these ideas because these were something that I already saw before. I saw wall painting decors, flower decors, and photo frame borders somewhere else. I don't exactly remember, but I've seen them before. And then I never saw these bracelet and coaster or a container made out of pista shells yet. So I've picked up those and tried making try using these out of just little ideated related to them, and got a basic idea of what I'm gonna do. And my learnings out of this trying things out is that before I start anything, I should observe the properties of the material. Like initially I didn't observe the properties of these pista shells, but as I was doing it, I have observed and known, I kind of little got an idea about these properties, like the shape, the hard and shape, like how hard or soft it is, and this flexibility and many other things related to pista shells. And also that I should also know the properties and usage of the product which I am going to make. For the bracelet, one of the options that I thought was it can be in this way. But then when I remembered about the bracelets, it is something which is more flexible, which is elastic, like which can fit through the hand. And then the properties of these shells are none of them. These are hard and rigid, and when I was also wondering how can I make a hole in them to kind of give it a curve as we have for the wrist. But then I thought, okay, maybe I can stack this up in this way. But then I again wondered, how do I put a hole in the center? Once I tried making a hole and it was like broken. It didn't really give a hole. I was just trying to see how can I make a coaster out of these pista shells, and then one thought, I just started making this shape out of the pista shells, and then I was wondering how can I fill up these tiny little spaces in between them. I can use M-seal basically, and I can place these two side by side, and the M-seal would be in contact between these two. It won't really fill the gaps between these shells, but it will connect all of them. And now I have placed a cup to see how it will look and how it will hold, and it did hold well. So initially I was wondering that maybe I should flip the whole thing like this, flip it and then use it as a coaster, but then after I placed it looks fine. It's like even these are placed in on a cardboard, which is like a plain surface, so these hold fine on them. So I guess there is no need for it to flip. And even if I flip, the shape of this pista shell won't won't be proper or in a straight way to hold this cup as it is holding now. I'm not sure until I actually do it, but I think this is pretty cool. The shape or the structure of these pista shells are holding pretty well. Another way to put these things together is by using Fevikwik. I think that could also work. I was also thinking that maybe I initially thought that maybe I have to flatten all of these because the structure of these things are so different, like this size basically. Like when I see from this point of view, each thing has its own size. One is a little lower and one is a bit higher. So I thought I should flatten this whole thing using, I don't know what exact tool to use, but I thought I should flatten it. But now I think there is no need of that. So at the end, I understand, or rather, I got to know that before using some material, I have to understand its shape, its structure, and its basically its qualities. And this is something very hard. These pista shells are hard shells, so it can also hold weight. And that too, when we group things together, it becomes even more stronger. But I'm only worried about the gaps in between. I'm not sure if I just joined the few some places it'll hold the cup together. That's something to find out. I'm also thinking about the color, like basically decor of these shells, but I think we have such a good shades of yellow and brown, so I'm thinking that these shades would go well. Like I don't think I need to paint them because these shades and colors are pretty doing well.